All right, welcome to episode 20. It's episode 20.
We're climbing, man.
Episode 20 of Backcountry BSing. We're back in the studio, and we've decided to make this a bourbon kind of thing.
Yeah, we like it.
So we got a special guest today. We got the stove master himself, Mark with Spiguyver Backpacking.
And you know we're gonna ask him
Yeah.
why he puts out so many stove videos.
There's not many channels we watch that have been doing this before we were doing this, and Mark's one of them. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, we've been watching Mark for a long time. He has great hammock content.
Yes,
too.
so
I learned a lot about continuous ridge lines from Mark.
No, he's great. I'm excited to talk to him. Let's get him in on the call-in line. All right, we're back. It's gotten darker, Mark. Thank you so much for joining us today. We talked about in the intro to this that there's very few backpacking channels that we were watching before we started doing this, and you were one of them.
Yes, you were.
So it's cool for us to finally get to talk to you.
Yeah, and I think I discovered you a long time ago because you still do, but you had fantastic content for beginner hammockers like that. Yeah, that I watched all that stuff to kind of like figure out how I was gonna set up my hammock and stuff. So it was helpful.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on, and man, it's kind of weird to hear you guys say, you know, you were watching me before doing it. You guys have been on for a while, so
that shows you how old we evolved. I mean, there's like a new backpacking channel every day coming out. Almost like we're the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I want to get to what you do for a living because I don't really know what you do, but it sounds really cool. But we'll stick to backpacking here first. So talk to us a little bit about how you got into backpacking and how you got onto YouTube.
Yeah.
So I've kind of always been into the outdoors and into backpacking and stuff. You know, as a kid, family used to do tent camping trips all the time, and so I was always outside. I lived in upstate New York, kind of backed up pretty much to the Adirondack State Park.
Oh.
And so I had hundreds and hundreds of acres just at my disposal. So I was always out in the woods, always playing. And then one of my good friends up there, Jeremy, who's Sherpa Man, he and I used to just go out and do climbing trips and backpacking trips, and we didn't really call it backpacking. We just were out playing in the woods, you know.
Were you?
Then,
go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
I was just gonna say, were you winter backpacking in upstate New York?
No, I mean we would do like snow forts and stuff like that. So it was kind of like that, but not with the intent of going out and doing like backpacking or camping and stuff. Just playing around.
When you did, sorry,
Let the man
I
talk.
have so many questions.
No, man, let him fly.
When you put your video, we'll get back to the original question, but I'm trying to visualize. The Sherpa Man, was he in your video when you guys did the whites?
Yes. Yeah. So the very first backpacking video I put up was an Adirondack strip video, and Sherpa Man was in that one. And then I think the only other one he's been in is the whites.
Yeah.
He was the one that was with me through the entire white section.
Yeah, we got to see multiple hours of you blowing out your knees.
Oh, man.
You have inspired us to never do that.
That was a painful trip. I'm glad I pushed on because, you know, there was no serious damage and I'm all good, but
Yeah.
man, it was not pleasant.
So whenever we watch like backpacking videos and people are like talking about like the crazy ups and downs, like you can never really see it on the camera angles because it just doesn't come off that way. However, on yours, I remember you have these footage of like just the trail going straight up and it's just rocks and you could see it on there and I'm like, oh yeah, that'll kill you. Okay.
Yeah. And you know, we'd get to sections and there'd be like a 70-year-old woman coming down. And I was like, holy crap, this one just did this. It's crazy. I mean, and then you hear stories about like the thru hikers, and that's all shit they've got to do.
I know. I forget about that.
We get comments too that are like, oh, you got to come out to the whites or the Adirondacks. And I'm always like, oh yeah, that sounds so cool. And then in the back of my head, I'm like, I saw Mark's video. I don't know if I want to do that.
It looks brutal.
Yeah.
Looks just brutal.
Yeah.
But the views, I mean, it's so rewarding.
Yeah. So how did
How did the channel come about?
How did the channel come about? Because I know you did some really early mountain biking stuff, right?
Yeah, so I was a professional mountain bike racer, and I became a coach.
I knew that. Yeah.
And so while I was coaching, I set up a channel where I would go and do like pre-rides of courses, and me and my buddy Mike, who happens to be beekeeper, we used to ride together, and now we backpack together every once in a while. We had a coaching business, and so we would put up videos for our clients, and so that's kind of how the YouTube thing started. And then beekeeper, Sherpa Man, and I decided we were doing this trip up in the Adirondacks, and I was like, it'd be kind of cool to film it, and that's kind of where it started. And it was just something for us, and then it kind of evolved.
That seems to be a unique story. From like just wanting to document your own stuff.
Did you think it would be something you would end up doing like pretty regularly?
I don't think it took that on for a while. Frozen was actually the one that pretty much pushed me to doing it.
Oh, yeah?
Regularly. Yeah, because he reached out to me.
So you guys did the Laurel Highlands.
So I was up. I did. Man, I can't remember the place. There's one place up there that I went, and the same weekend I was there, he was there, and I had my setup, and he and Gary actually walked past my setup and were like, "Hey, that guy's probably pretty serious. He's got some real stuff." And then I think I posted the video like a week later, and he was like, "Holy crap, man, that was you!" So he pushed me pretty hard to get kind of onto a schedule.
Yeah.
He's like, "Man, your content is good. I don't know why you don't have more subscribers. You need to get onto something where people start following you." So that kind of pushed me to that. I was like, "Okay, I could do that."
I remember when you guys did the Laurel Highlands hiking trail together.
Yeah.
And then he put his bare ass in the back of one of your shots.
He did. Yep. Right over the fire.
Have you backpacked with him since then?
I haven't. No, we've talked several times about doing different things, and it just hasn't panned out each time. I mean, with me being in Oklahoma and him up in Pennsylvania, the distance just kind of has wreaked havoc on that one.
I was gonna ask where you're located now, because I remember
you were in Alabama
back in the day. I remember you were going to Wright Pat all the time, right? And that's how you would go to like Zaleski and stuff.
Yeah, it was Zaleski. That's where it was that I was set up and he walked over by me.
Oh, okay. So you started as a professional mountain biking. That's first off, that's pretty sweet. We should rewind on that a little bit. How did that happen?
Yeah.
Well, so I was in the Air Force and started riding and figured out I was actually pretty good at it. And a couple guys that I rode with every day at 3:00, I met at a local trail, and we went out and rode, and they kept pushing me harder and harder and harder, and I started racing and just kind of fell in love with it and just went from there.
I find it. I've had very little encounters with like serious mountain bikers, except when we were in Colorado.
Yeah,
and like we were on the section of the Colorado Trail, and they were everywhere. And I'm sure it just takes practice and time. I just don't know how you get rid of that fear factor, like flying around, bombing down those things.
So I was more of the cross country racer than the downhill guy. So mine was more endurance, and there was some downhill and some speed related there, but like I'm amazed by like the Tour de France guys.
Yeah.
60, 70 miles an hour down the side of a mountain, twisty road. That's crazy.
You just have to increase the amount of oxygen that your blood has.
Yeah, you just got a dope, man. Are you ever considering like bike packing?
Yeah.
Given your roots?
So I've done a little bit of bike packing type things. I have a gravel bike because I got into gravel pretty good towards the end of my my cycling career, and so I had panniers and everything for it that I could, but haven't done a whole lot of it. I mean, I've got bikes hanging out in the garage that just don't get used.
How many bikes do you have?
I've got 5 bikes hanging up out there.
That's what I expected.
What does like for your style of mountain biking at like peak professionalness? What does like one of those mountain bikes run?
Well, let's get this straight. I was a regional pro.
How are the Olympics, Mark?
Yeah. How many
So
medals?
I've actually got some ties to the Olympics. I taught
Really?
I taught at the Olympic Training Center out in Colorado Springs.
Oh, nice.
man.
And I did some consulting with a couple of Olympic athletes, but I've lined up with those guys.
Nice. Nice.
It's more than what we can say.
How much EPO did you do?
Yeah, none.
Water wasn't that good back then.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
Would have been a whole lot better if I did. I think the top mountain bike that I've ever been on, my own personal one, was probably in the $6,000 to $7,000 range.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
Oh,
now-
wow.
I mean, even in the years, I mean, it's been, I don't know, six years since I stopped racing, and in that time, I mean, they're up over $10,000.
Yeah.
Really?
For like
bikes. It's
carbon
crazy.
fiber and all that fun stuff.
Do you still go out?
No, not really.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of it's a
Sadness
time
in his
thing.
voice.
It's that if you can't do it at the same level you did it before,
Yeah.
it's kind of tough to go out there because you want to. You want to go as hard and as fast as you did before, but it just hurts.
Yeah. Have you taken any like real bad spills?
Oh yeah. So very first race I ever did was out at Big Bear in California,
Okay.
and not a good mountain biker at that point at all. So that race was, half of it was climbing, the next half was descending. And so I got over the climbing part, and as I'm starting the descent, it started out on like a Jeep road and then went off the Jeep road up into the single track. And this, I assume he was a pro or something, went flying by me. I mean,
Yeah.
just hauling ass. And I was like, I can do that.
Oh.
So I
Famous
tried-
last
tried
words.
I tried to stay right on his wheel, and where it went off of the Jeep road, it went up over a bank and then onto the single track, and he just right over it, and I hit it and launched.
Oh.
It ended up going shoulder first into a tree, dislocated my shoulder.
Oh, damn.
So I lay there on the ground for a few minutes, stood up, popped my shoulder back in,
Oh.
You pulled
Finished.
a Rambo.
Yeah.
finished the race, and then as I was getting out of my jersey after the race, I went to pull my jersey off, and it popped back out of the socket, and I just hit the ground, man. And I've now had 3 surgeries on that shoulder.
Jesus,
So.
man.
Wait, was it Lethal Weapon, Mel Gibson, who could pop his
Yeah.
shoulder out? And
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, you're Mel
He'd
Gibson.
pull a lethal weapon. That probably that's gross.
That sounds that
I
sounds
don't
so
recommend it.
painful.
Oh my
I'll
god.
take the knee.
Any backpacking injuries?
Just the knees, man.
Just the knees.
I had a lot of problems with blisters early on, but lately, I finally found exactly what works for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for everybody, but the barefoot shoes are for me absolutely the way
Yeah.
to go. Yep.
Has that helped a lot?
But didn't you rag on him on that white strip that you said? Am I saying that right? That you wish you had more of a beefier shoe for that?
Well, I mean, there's going to be times where it
Yeah.
hurts a little bit, but honestly, just the blister thing, I don't think I can go back to anything else. Everything else I've worn, from every sort of trail
Mhm.
runner to boots, I end up with blisters. So, yeah, I'm stuck with these now.
And what shoes are you wearing?
So I have been pretty dedicated to the Morel trail gloves.
Okay.
I really like their knit ones that are kind of like a sock. But so I think I did a video after the white strip. I had some real problems with my shoes kind of failing on me. So they redesigned them. I got a new set, and those just about 3 weeks ago failed on me. So
Oh.
I'm trying a new pair of shoes right now. The last weekend when I went out was the first time wearing them, and so I'm trying some Vivo Barefoot Primus Trail Firm Ground.
Okay.
Everybody talks about the Vivo for like the minimalist shoe
Yeah.
as well. So
You're down to a 0 drop shoe.
just for
You go
just,
into a
just-
barefoot?
No, I need this, and only for backpacking and run and the little trail running that I
Yeah.
do. Otherwise, my road running shoes are the opposite of zero drop.
That's true.
Maximum lift.
So I know you've been across the pond recently, but what are your upcoming backpacking plans for this year?
So the big one. So I try and do one big trip per
Yeah.
year, and you're gonna like this one. So Rain Man Chris, he and I are. We wanted it to be more than just us. A couple of people had to drop out, but we're gonna go do the Tahoe Rim Trail.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Oh, nice. Are you doing the whole
Are
thing?
you doing the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh
we're gonna do it.
shit!
That's
Nice.
awesome.
So I actually, I don't know. You guys may have heard this.
You
on-
did
on
trail
other-
maintenance.
I did.
I remember
I
you
did.
commented. Talk to me
Yeah.
about that.
Yep. So it's cool. I mean, I lived out there for quite a while, and it's kind of going to be cool to go back and do this.
Where'd you live?
Pretty much right directly between Sacramento and San Francisco.
Okay. And
Are you-
when was this?
From like 96 to like 2008ish or 2005. I guess.
Oh, you lived there for a while.
Yeah.
So was the Tahoe Rim Trail even like was it around at that point?
No, that it was being built.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
it
went
was
out
just-
there and just got on there and started like you got on like did you get involved with the association and start like helping them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah, it
sweet.
was like organized days out there. I think I posted a couple of pictures not that long ago of, I was going through some photo albums and found some old photos of up there.
How many
with pickaxes and Pulaskis and doing.
Dude, that's awesome.
how many days are you giving yourself to do it?
So we've talked. I think we can do it in 8, but
Oh,
we're not going to.
That's aggressive.
Dude, it's like 100 it's like 130 miles, isn't it?
I think it's 165. So we figured if we did like
20 a
22 a day, we'd be
Dude.
good.
Mark.
But we're gonna do
Get out
it.
of here. I thought it's funny because I think the average is
we're
like
doing-
12 or 13 days.
We're gonna do like 10 or 11.
Okay.
We're gonna take our time. We're gonna enjoy it. We
Yeah.
want to be able to not push long days, just kind of
Yeah.
enjoy it. So we've got, I think we've got an 11-day itinerary and
Okay.
a 10-day setup. Just kind of, all right, one of these will work.
What
Are you gonna
Yeah.
hammock that?
yeah, next question.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've talked with quite a few people who have through it, and everyone says that it can be done.
Yeah.
So,
I've
yeah, I think so.
I've seen some like sections of it.
Desolation Wilderness,
Yeah.
depending on where you're camping there, is like I only was in 2 areas when I was there. First, I'm incredibly jealous that you're doing this. Where are you starting?
So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna fly into Reno, pick up a rental, drive down to South Lake, and I can turn the rental car in there, and then start at South Lake,
Okay,
and then do probably get a hotel up in Tahoe City.
that's so. Check out Timberline Lodge. That's where I stayed when I was there.
Okay.
Super cheap. And shout out. So the reason I went out there was our sister just moved to Reno. So shout out to our sister. Maybe we'll volunteer her to ferry you around. She ferried us around. But I hiked counterclockwise. So are you going counterclockwise?
We're going clockwise.
You're going clockwise. I went counterclockwise. Yeah. So you're starting down there. Man, that's what time of the year are you doing this?
September.
That's like
The perfect
basically the
time.
perfect time to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have like 60s during the day and maybe like high 30s at night then?
Yeah. That maybe a little bit higher.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit warmer.
But what we're hoping is we've missed the bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
'Cause The
will.
bugs can be.
I was
nasty.
there the last week in August, and they weren't bad, but they were there.
Yeah.
They were definitely there. That was I'd never backpacked the west of Colorado, and that place was freaking incredible. I mean, it
Yeah.
was beautiful, and the Tahoe Rim Trail Association app, which is what I use, which I'm sure is what you'll probably be using. It was so helpful, and like everything's marked out, and it's not a flat trail at all, but the views just being around that lake, man, that's awesome. I'm jealous.
Yeah, and California gets a lot of crap for like how regulated their backpacking is, but I mean, the trade-off is you get just such an amazing like beautiful trail.
Do you have to get a through hiker permit or so, like a permit for that?
Yeah, for desolation.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. Have you gotten your desolation permits yet? Can you even do it this far out?
No, you can't. I think, man, I don't remember exactly how far out you can do it.
Yeah.
But as a through hiker, they don't turn you down.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So you can opt to do it two ways. You can either get the through hiker one, which then you have to stay within 300 feet of the trail or something like that, or you can select to get a regular permit for Desolation Wilderness for whatever zone
That's
you
what
want
we
to stay
did.
in.
That's what we did.
How long is the TRT through Desolation?
It's like 40 miles, I think.
Probably something
Ish.
like that, yeah.
So you'll be there for a couple days.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll stay just outside of Echo and then go through to. I think we're gonna stay like Lake Aloha area.
That's not a great hammock place. I'll just warn you
Well,
right now.
I think on the south side there's some
trees. Yeah.
and then I think maybe Middle Velma
Okay.
has some good spots.
Yeah, that's more in the trees. That's literally I went up from Echo Lake up into Lake Aloha, and so there are trees getting up there. That
Right.
place is a party though.
Yeah,
There
I
are going to
know.
be tons of people there.
Yep.
The good thing is they do limit with the permit system. They do limit how many people can camp there, but like around those
Like
lakes.
during the day, yeah.
Oh, during the day you're gonna have day hikers there,
Yeah.
all over. Are you gonna canister it? Are you gonna bear canister it?
Yeah, we talked about it, and this year there were so many people that had even earth sacks just shredded.
Dude.
But I was
Wow.
like, nah, man, we're not messing with that.
I got some stories for you. So I was there last year. I earth sacked it. I hung my earth sack though. I was like, I'm not effing around, and I didn't. I did 2 nights in the Tahoe Rim Trail. I did one in Desolation and one non-Desolation. The night not in Desolation, which was just northeast of Tahoe City, bear came through camp in the morning. Desolation, so on the Tahoe Rim Trail app, they people update bear activity, and I was there with my sister's husband, and we didn't see anything. Now we were in an area that most people don't go to, but we were hiking out the next day, and we passed a ranger, and he checked our permits, and he's like, "Did I tell you this?" He goes, "You guys see any bears out there?" And I go, "No." He goes, "Really?" I'm like, "No, man." He goes, "They've been crazy active." and he's like, "All right, what?" He goes, because we didn't have a canister. He's like, "What do you have?" I'm like, "I have an earth sack, but I'm hanging it," and that was legit for them. They were not cool with tying earth sacks off to trees.
Yeah.
Really?
No, not at all. He was like, if you use an earth sack, make sure you hang it like a traditional bear bag. And he said what they're doing now, even with bear canisters, is the bears are just picking up the canisters and walking away with them. Yeah, like they'll just take them and then go try and open them somewhere else. So
That's why you put your dishes on top of it. So when
you can hear it.
Put a piece of zinging on it.
and it's black bears, so it's not like it's like scary. I did carry a bear spray though. Are you carrying?
No, I don't think so.
It just made me sound like a huge pussy. I was by myself. I
would have a shotgun.
Extra weight, man.
Yeah. And honestly, my sister had bought some, and she had a canister there. So I was going out for the first time by myself, and I'm like, I'll just take it just for peace of mind, you know?
Yeah. I'm already pissed that I've got to carry a canister that weighs like.
I know. Is this your first time with the bear canister?
No, we had to up in the Adirondacks. We had to use them.
Really?
So I bought one up there.
I
Yeah.
didn't know in the East Coast you had that. They mandated bear canisters.
Probably in certain areas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's the High Peaks region of the Adirondacks. It's mandated. Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, we have yet to take a trip with a bear canister.
No, luckily.
I know. I almost did it for the Tahoe thing, but I was like, it's so heavy. I'd rather carry an earth sack and some mace. And luckily, not in Desolation, but a lot of the campsites along, at least that I saw, had bear lockers at camps.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it was pretty legit.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know.
That's like that in Yosemite too. There's a lot of the camps, the backcountry camps too, have the bear lockers.
Yeah. We another thing I luckily didn't have to deal with, but you can get like forest fires up in that area at that time of year.
Right.
So I had some like contingency scenarios of like, what am I going to do if there's like a forest fire closure or something? I don't know. Because that's probably September when that happens. I don't know. That's sweet though, man. I'm super. When you said you guys are gonna like this, I'm like, I bet he's gonna say Tahoe.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's the backpacking like options like in Oklahoma where you are?
That's
right
a great
now?
question.
In a word, shit. I mean,
Where in Oklahoma are you? If you don't mind, you can just say regionally. You don't have to say like.
I'm Oklahoma City,
Okay.
right directly in the center. So I pretty much go out of state for damn near everything.
Yeah.
I'm in Arkansas a lot. Right now, Chris and I have been knocking off parts of the Ouachita Trail and the Ozark Highlands Trail. Both of them are like 200 plus mile.
Is it good backpacking?
Yeah. So Arkansas's got great, beautiful
That's
backpacking.
what
Really?
we heard.
Yeah.
Somebody else was telling us that. I forget who, but yeah, that'd be a good winter option for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How I know. Okay. What do you do for a living, Mark? I know it's aviation related.
It is. So
You don't have to like give the
Just
whole
be
thing. You can be very vague.
very vague, high level.
Because I know you move around a lot, right?
Yeah, so I was military, and so I was a pilot in the military, the Air Force. When I got out, I started doing program management stuff, and so I worked for a few different simulation companies. But now I'm actually working for a company that we have ISR aircraft that we deploy around the world.
Okay.
And I'm kind of in charge of all of that, and do a little bit of flying along with that.
What for some reason were you a chopper pilot?
No.
Why did I think that?
I don't know.
You're a fixed wing guy.
Yeah.
What
A wing jockey.
I have our dad's a private pilot.
Okay.
And I have 9 hours in a Cessna 172. True story. I've landed it once.
Right on.
What this is cool. So because I know you were just in the UK for a while, and when we were talking about doing this, you were talking about going to like another place very far away. So are you commonly like globetrotting?
With this job, yeah. I mean, I've got planes in about 6 different locations around the world right now, and so I'm constantly going to see what's going on, see how things are going, and at times fly with the crews I've got out there.
That's sweet.
Nice.
That's a sweet excuse to do some cool backpacking too, and very
Yeah.
cool. I watched some of your UK stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I got some good. I only had like a day at a time off there, so it was a lot of day stuff. And then over Christmas and New Year's, I got out a little bit more. So I think, yesterday was the last of the UK videos. So
Oh, nice.
I'm done with UK stuff now, and next week will be the last Ouachita Trail trip, 40 miles we did last weekend.
Wow.
What do you got? What are you doing like coming up in the spring?
I don't know. I try to get. I
all
try to
good.
get out a one weekend a month. We try. And
Yeah,
get
that's
out.
what we
Yeah.
try and do.
It's a lot of times it's last minute. I mean, Chris lives 3 hours from me, and so he has a pretty lenient job, and so anytime we want, he's free. So it's a lot of last minute stuff. I know we've got a trip out to Paladuro Canyon out in Texas. We're planning probably a 3 or 4 day trip. But other than that, it's just kind of play it by ear, and whatever sounds good is what we end up doing.
So, switching topics, when did your love affair with alcohol stoves begin?
We had to get into this.
Oh,
We
man.
waited like a half an hour to bring it up.
I think it was the ultralight stuff, man.
Yeah.
I backpacked when I lived in California. For those years I was out there, I did a lot of backpacking.
Yeah.
Was constantly out, but I was far from ultralight.
Right.
I was far from lightweight. And so when I got back into it, I researched and I was like, I want the lightest stuff possible. And so I found alcohol stoves and all the DIY stuff, the penny stoves and the soda can stuff. So I was like, let's do this. And I just thought it was cool. it's more of a tinkering type
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
playing
yeah.
around with it, experimenting, and then I found Hiram's videos. And
Yeah.
I mean,
That dude. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Do you know who that is?
No.
He's like the godfather of out. He's not
Oh
like
yeah.
he's not camping necessarily.
No, he was in his basement.
Yeah. That's how I learned to make those wax fire starters.
Yeah, yeah.
That's funny.
He
I've
had-
never met another
he
dude who's
put
heard of
out,
him.
like 1,000 freaking videos on alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about him. That's hilarious.
So are you using a jet boil now?
Yeah, 2 of them.
One specifically for coffee?
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I actually have been using the canister a whole lot more. I mean, I used the canister the whole time I was out in the UK.
We've in the winter we've almost reverted back to canister.
Just laziness.
We're just lazy. You know, we went through a
So quick, man.
it's so quick, and we're both very like pro alcohol stove. That's our go-to, especially your go-to.
Yeah.
But the last couple winter trips, it's just like when it's freaking freezing, you just warm that canister up and like trying to light I got the Fancy Feast, the Zelf one, and trying to light that in the winter when it's like 25 degrees, it's like fairly difficult. So we just have gotten lazy. I don't know, but I never thought I really like alcohol stoves. You know,
They're simple.
they're so simple.
That's why I like them.
you know, and they're
Yeah.
cheap too. I don't know.
Yep.
That's funny. You waited 30 minutes to bring up alcohol.
Yeah, I got
stoves.
another topic, but I got to make sure I get the name right because I will admit that I am not. Yeah.
What was that?
I just want to talk about the Hang Your Own Hammock podcast.
That's right.
Okay.
So I hopefully I got the title right. I've listened to a bunch of the episodes, especially like traveling and stuff. I don't know. I just download it. Are you still doing? Is that still going on? Are they?
So I honestly don't know if it's still going on. So right as I was getting ready to go to the UK, it was going through a transition. So
Okay.
Mark and Jonathan were actually handing it over to a couple of new guys, and they had asked Gresh and I to keep doing it. And I was like, you know, I'm gonna bow out for a little while.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of stuff going on with this new job. I'm just not sure I can keep it up.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen anything. I haven't heard anything. I don't know whether or not it's kept going or if it died.
Yeah, I don't. I was just thinking
I
about
forgot
it.
about
I was
that.
just thinking about it the other day. Like I went like I wasn't like clearly I can't remember the exact name. I wasn't
forgot
a
about
faithful
that.
follower of it, but I did
Yeah.
listen to like most of them, and I thought they were pretty decent. And I liked your segment of it.
You're also you're pretty like into the hammock forum stuff, and you've gone to a bunch of those hangs, haven't you?
I've gone to several of them. I went to HangCon a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
I've gone to a couple others. Yeah.
We
I go to the down here in Texas.
How did you get into hammocks?
good question.
So when I got back into I moved. I was living in Mississippi, which there's no backpacking there, no nothing. It sucks. Anyone that lives in Mississippi, sorry, but it's, so I ended up moving to South Carolina,
I
and
remember when you were there.
I was doing something, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to get back into backpacking. I don't even know how I got into it, thinking about this. Actually, yes, I do. So I was reading something, and dude, I used to be all about the AT.
Yeah.
And so back in 2002, I believe, Sherpa Man and I did the entire Shenandoah section of the AT to raise money for diabetes. So we did this big thing, and so the AT has kind of been this thing I've always wanted to do. And so when I knew I was moving back to South Carolina, I knew I was close to the AT again. And so Mike, Beekeeper, and I started talking about going out and trying to knock out sections of it, starting all the way at the Approach Trail. And so I was like, all right, I got to get back into this. I want to go light. And I've always had trouble sleeping when I'm on the ground. I've always had the biggest pad, the thickest pad I could
Yeah.
possibly get. And I don't sleep well on the ground for whatever reason. And I got on the forums and I was reading and people talking about how, you know, I've had back problems or I've had this and now I sleep great. So I was like, hey, I'm going to give this a try. And so I went on, you know, a lot of people start with like Eno or whatever they see in
Mhm.
a store. I went straight to the Dutch Wear Gear website and ordered stuff there.
You had a half wit, right?
That was probably the second or third hammock
And
I had, but yeah,
you did the I remember this. You did like it had the half bug net.
yeah,
That's the halfway.
Yep.
That's the half wit, right?
Yeah.
And I remember you were talking about doing that a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I just wanted to, and actually, I was kind of inspired by your videos because you put together, I think it was a series on like ultra lightweight hammock backpacking, like making making a setup as light as possible, and like
yeah.
that.
I've done a few trying to get there.
Yeah,
but
it was very inspiring too. I was almost ready to pull the trigger on like a whole new hammock and all new
And
suspension.
you first off, what's in that glass you're drinking? I hope it's some bourbon or drink of choice.
unfortunately,
Is it water?
jumping on a plane flying in the morning. So
Oh, okay.
it's fun. Yeah.
I remember you did one of the like first chameleon videos.
yeah,
I did.
Yeah.
So I had one of the first prototypes out there. I think we all launched probably on the same day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was one of the lucky ones that Dutch picked to test, and I don't know when this is going to come out, but I may be testing a new Dutch hammock. Right now.
Really?
Oh, come on, Dutch.
Nice. Jealous.
So one of those Clark hammocks. I saw his announcement.
I saw that too. That was kind of a surprise. I didn't know that was in the works.
Yeah.
The jungle
Is
hammock.
there anything you can say about this hammock?
I didn't want to like it.
Oh,
Really?
So that means it's like the Cadillac.
it.
It's the Cadillac of hammocks.
Is it a bridge hammock?
We don't know.
Hey.
We'll have to wait.
You're gonna have to wait and see. I mean, if you watch the video next Tuesday, there might be some hints in there.
Okay.
If it's a bridge hammock, I'm for sure getting one.
nice.
Maybe it will be, maybe it won't.
Nice,
I don't know.
man. That's sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I will be. I'll set
Any
my alarm.
any other gear upgrades this year or gear swap outs?
Yeah. So, man, while I was in the UK, you know, Christmas happened while I was there.
Yeah.
Plus, I was making money, so I was buying too much stuff. So I got home, and there was a ton of stuff waiting for me. And on top of that, just companies that had wanted me to test stuff,
Yeah.
that had sent stuff. So I've got a lot of stuff sitting around that I need to test. I've got 3 different hammocks that I've got to get out and test. But I ordered a new UGQ top quilt, custom one, and it's sweet.
That is,
we both just ordered 0 Degree Bandits.
Right on. So
Yeah.
I got a new 20-degree Bandit with the with a custom print. And,
Oh, nice.
dude, the thing is sweet. But I got it in the wide. It's the Bandit XL, so that I could use it when I do have to go to ground. Because there are, like, when I go out to Palo Duro, there's no hanging out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to use the duplex, and so, which I haven't done a review on that yet either. So
I just released one yesterday.
I know.
Yeah.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Saw that.
And I'm about
So
to email him and
yeah.
tell him to send me the Altiplex. Maybe. We'll see.
So I upgraded. I changed from my Cuban standard tarp with doors to the Winter Palace. Just
Oh,
for a
nice.
little bit more room and just bigger. Yeah, Chris got one, and I saw it, and I was like, "Damn you! I hate you."
Yeah.
that's cool.
I think it's huge.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
That's some good gear upgrades.
That's tremendous upgrades.
We're actually going. I can say this because this won't be released till next week. We're going backpacking with UGQ this weekend with Chad from
Sweet.
UGQ, and he just made us our quilts. So it's weird. I'm going to be going backpacking with the dude who made the gear,
Yeah,
and it's going to be great.
it's our first time. No, we've been with. Like,
No, we've been with people who've made our gear. Yeah. But that quilt, that 0 Degree, and I didn't know this. We talked to them. They overstuff, like that's their mantra. And
I think they do like 30%.
yeah, they do 30%.
Yeah.
So we got these 0 Degree quilts, and we were just laying on them like inside, and you start sweating immediately.
Right.
Yeah, and I have one of their under quilts. I have a Zeppelin under quilt, and it's also like it's a 20 degree, but I've used it into like the low teens, and it's been fine. So they make, and I have a Winter Dream tarp from them. They make like really good stuff. And he was telling me, I don't know if I can say this, but I'm going to. He was saying they get 25 to 30 quilt orders a day now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
That is crazy.
My wife ordered my quilt beginning of December, and we were able to pull some strings, and I got it a week and a half ago.
That's
2 weeks ago?
still
Yeah.
8 to 10 weeks of lead time.
Yeah.
So they're moving to like a new store that's got like 10,000 square feet because they're like, we got to get this down. I mean, they just can't keep up with demand. It's crazy. They're nuts.
It's good to see, though. I mean,
Yeah, it's so good
like,
to see.
we've got, and you know, I've tried to support a lot of the smaller vendors, like, you know, Jason from Walhalla. He was a South Carolina guy, and so he had some things going on, and I promoted some of his stuff at one point. I love supporting the little guys. So Trailheads. So
Yeah.
I had him do a custom one for me, and you know, the quality is okay. It's not Dutch or Dream quality,
Yeah.
but this last trip, Chris had one of the new Wraith hammocks from Trailheads, which is their monolight, super lightweight one. I thought mine was lightweight. It was like 10.2 ounces. His is like 9.6.
Wow.
That's
And
cool.
that's a zippered bug net.
It's 9 ounces
wait, yeah,
with the
that-
bug net?
That's
Yes. Yeah.
How's it? Is
So-
it just some ridiculous fabric? Like, how's it so light?
It's the 1.0. It's the 1.0 monolight, but it's the they went with a lighter zipper. They went with like it's only like a 2/3 zipper rather than the full.
Oh,
zipper.
okay.
So,
Okay.
I mean, little areas to cut the weight, just to try. I mean, they were just really it was a let's see how low we can get this.
Yeah.
Right.
But I checked out there were things on mine that I was like, hey, this is cool. It just needs to be refined a little bit. And on Chris's, which, you know, it's only been like 3 or 4 months that he's been doing this, dude, it is so much better. Like the quality has come up so much. And to see people like the Walhallas and the Trailheads that started and they were, you know, out of their own garage
Yeah.
or whatever doing it, and then the quality just keeps getting better and better. I mean, Paul and Missy doing
Yeah.
it out of Paul's basement.
Yeah.
And now look at the quality of that stuff you've
Yeah.
got. I mean,
Yeah.
it is
So good.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were in Red River Gorge 2 weeks ago, and Trailheads was doing a gathering there that we were gonna try to go to, but it just didn't work out. Because where are they based? Where are they based? Do you know?
He's not too far from Right Pat. He's up
Oh,
in that
is he Ohio?
area. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Yep.
know that.
Hit him up.
Maybe we'll have to get him on. Yeah, he's Spiguyver approved.
Yeah.
Speaking of Spiguyver, I know you've explained this in a video, but how'd you get the trail name?
Okay, so I used to climb a lot. I mentioned it earlier. That I
Were
used
you
to
a
climb.
professional climber?
No.
Did you train at
no.
the Olympic Training Center?
Did you train Olympians?
No. So my nickname was Spider,
Okay.
and then when we were that Shenandoah section that Sherpa Man and I were doing, there was one night that I had an MSR pocket rocket, and we had just switched out canisters, and it wasn't mating. Like you could screw it on, but it wasn't getting fuel.
That's
We were like,
terrifying.
"What the hell?" So I went behind the shelter and was kind of messing with it, smashing it on a rock, shoving stuff down inside of it, and got it so that it was spraying fuel, screwed it on, and got it to work. And so someone said, well, you're MacGyver, and the two kind of got smashed together, and so it's
Nice.
MacGyver.
I use an MSR pocket rocket, and that's terrifying to know that.
Well, it was the fuel can.
It was a fuel
the
can, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was totally the canister.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like the screw-on piece was too long, and
Oh.
so it wasn't, the pin that goes in wasn't hitting it, and so yeah.
Okay. That's a cool trail name, though.
It is.
It's very cool. It's very cool.
Thanks.
It's way better than Andy and Kevin.
We don't have trail names. We keep saying
good.
we're just-
Good.
they have to be given to you.
And you have to
You have to earn them or
Like you have to
something.
be a professional mountain biker at
right.
minimum, or a through hiker.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always thought about like, what would our trail names be? But so yeah, somebody will come up with something stupid. I don't know. Who knows? Where are you? Can you say where you're traveling to tomorrow?
Tomorrow it's just a local flight, and then on Tuesday I'm flying to Africa.
Oh, that's right. Doing any backpacking there?
No, unfortunately, no. This one's all business and no time to play.
Where,
And
can-
honestly, honestly, a lot of the areas I'm going to be in are a little bit hostile
That's
right
what I was
now,
gonna
and,
say.
Yeah.
But that would make for a pretty cool video. What, can you tell? Can you say where you're going in Africa?
A few different places, but Kenya is one of them.
Okay.
That's hostile.
Oh, it's
Just do they make an ultralight AK-47 you can pack in with you? Or like an M4?
polycarbonate
Maybe just
Or
get it
like-
through customs, man.
titanium bolt carrier group.
How long are you going to be over there?
About 2 weeks.
Wow. So you're in these places for a while.
It takes
Yeah.
like 3 days to get there.
Are you going to do any African backpacking food testing videos? I saw the
No,
UK
but I would
one.
like to- I
Watch
would
the
like to
UK
do
one.
some coffee testing.
Oh,
you know what
yeah.
You know what you should do is you should do like a series of like drink from streams and just say like, will I get Giardia?
What kind of weird parasite is Mark gonna get today?
Or do knockoff water filter tests?
You know,
That's funny.
I see like Devin does like some of these off-brand water filters, and I'm like, dude,
I know, right?
you're playing with some fucking roulette. there.
And you know, if you're gonna do an off-brand water filter test, like you can't do that in one video. You need like a month follow-up after and be like, hey
Right.
guys,
Yeah.
it's a month later, I'm still alive.
Yeah.
It's approved.
Have you ever gotten any like weird trail diseases?
No, fortunately not.
Yeah.
I've seen people with it, and it's not pretty.
Have you
but,
been with people that have gotten it?
No, not with anybody, but there was one night we were on the AT and we were in a shelter, and this dude, we had passed him a few miles back, and he was just moaning and groaning, and he came, like, just fell into the shelter that night, and it was just, oh man, it was bad. And so we actually got up and night hiked that night.
Really?
Yeah, I would have gone. I was like, I want no part of this sickness.
Yeah. People in the AT love drinking fresh from the streams. They do.
And it's such clean streams. I mean, it's pristine. There's no one out there.
There's so many people out there. You kind of alluded to it earlier, but is through hiking on your like life agenda?
It has definitely been there as something, but I think right now, if I was to do it, it's probably the PCT. The AT is just, there's too much of it. And honestly, I don't even know that I would take the camera and do it the way that everyone else is doing it. 'Cause it's just-
Really?
I'm kind of over it. I mean,
Yeah?
there's so much of it out there now.
What about not vlogging it, but like maybe just making?
Yeah, like a documentary.
Yeah.
type thing. Like yeah, I could be down with something like that, but I don't think I could. I don't know. I just think
It's the cool thing to do now.
It is.
You know,
I tend not to be the sticking to what everyone else is
do
doing.
the vlog and then put everything together at the end and then release it as a movie.
It's like a 36-hour movie.
That's what everybody does now.
Hey, you'll be on the PCT in Desolation.
I will.
Yeah. We get a lot of flack because we always be like, if we were ever to through hike, we're definitely doing the PCT.
Yeah, first.
Yeah.
First, if
Yeah.
you know, like there's no question in our mind.
Yeah.
Just because like where we live, like the PCT just and I've been on a little bit, just is so much cooler. You know,
Yeah, I mean it's different for everybody.
it's different for everybody. Not to like rag on the AT, but PCT is more exotic to us living in Ohio.
Right.
You know, I don't know. That's cool. What like, would you be one of those people that would do it like when they retire? One of those old dudes?
I think so.
Yeah.
You could join our trail family.
Yeah, we're gonna do it then too.
Perfect.
Think how
Let's
cool.
get a date.
Yeah, think how sweet backpacking gear is gonna be like then.
We're
a ways out.
We're gonna be pulling solid 10s.
Yeah. Do it like 6 months. All right, dude. We've been going almost an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
No, only 48.
50 minutes. Was there other topics? These go fast, man.
Yeah.
They go really
They
fast.
do.
Any other burning questions?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I really enjoyed your hammock stuff. I watched a lot of your hammock stuff to get educated
man.
on certain things. Actually, I remember this is me fanboying out, by the way.
We call it fangirling.
Oh, fangirl.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why we got into this podcast.
Yeah. I remember specifically taking a lot away from from your videos related to continuous ridgelines. So that might be a boring topic for the rest of the world here, but it was a good video. It was a good multiple videos. Probably.
Where we'll use this. That's a good segue to pimp Spiguyver Backpacking. For those watching, and we'll have a link down there. Even if you're not into hammock camping, please check out Spiguyver Backpacking.
But yeah, you're a gearhead. I mean, clearly.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
And people, we love gear. You love gear, and like that's a lot of people love that.
Yeah,
you've got a ton of great content on cool gear. And
great content, and he's the stove guy. I mean, if you got alcohol stuff.
I haven't been doing them lately, though. You know,
you need to do. We joke whenever the random times that we rarely do a stove video. We're like Spiguyver. We're doing a Spiguyver stove video.
We're going full Spiguyver. Doing a stove video. No, but honestly, you have influenced us a lot, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
And we love what you're doing. Keep doing it.
We need to do this again.
We'll do this again.
There's a lot more to talk about.
If you're ever,
there is. I mean, we could keep going.
I know. If you're ever in the Midwest area, please hit us up. Let's go on a trip. Let's do something.
For sure.
If you're ever in the right pad area or something, we can come meet you or anywhere.
Come to my basement and we'll do a live stream.
Yeah, hey, you get the open invitation to come live stream and do this again. But thanks, man. Honestly,
yeah,
appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
No.
Seriously, this was a lot of fun.
No, it's a lot of fun, and we say this every time. We'll do a part 2.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, we not everybody makes the part 2.
It's true. Not everybody gets a part 2. That's true. He gets one.
Yes.
All right, man. Thanks, dude.
Thank you. I feel honored.
And cut.
Nice,
man. That was really fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
No, thanks. Thanks for doing that. I appreciate that. I appreciate you sitting in your backyard.
I want some feedback after you guys watch my next video because I'm trying to put a little bit more effort into making them better.
Okay.